Hello everyone, Ace here, and today I've decided to talk about the recent controversy surrounding Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and more specifically the recently leaked gameplay footage and why fans aren't exactly happy about it. Now for those of you who weren't already aware, around 30 minutes of gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla was leaked online yesterday, resulting in a number of articles covering it before it received an inevitable copyright strike from Ubisoft. That said, the footage has surfaced at least for the time being on another channel, and I was able to see the footage myself there. And while I'm going to try to avoid getting copyright striked myself by not playing the footage here on this video, I am at least going to provide links in the description below to the new upload of this footage, as well as a reaction video by a fellow YouTuber named SidAlpha. But getting back on topic, I would say there are at least 4 things in particular that players absolutely hated about the Valhalla gameplay footage. And this, by the way, is leaving out all the bugs and unfinished content that is to be expected from an unfinished build. But anyways, the first issue that anyone that's seen the footage will tell you is that this seems to be just a reskin of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now granted, given that we're talking about the Assassin's Creed franchise, that's not exactly much of a surprise here, as Ubisoft has made it about as derivative as you can get. But that said, it would almost be criminal of me not to mention it at this point. But it does, however, lead into another larger issue, and that's the fact that the gameplay is actually rather over the top in several regards, such as the fact that players are actually able to destroy enemy shields in just 3 blows, or even the fact that they're able to launch enemies 20 feet back with a single kick, from a standing position. This is of course in sharp contrast to the gritty and grounded feel that many players were expecting. And the topic of how the game's combat looks leads me to another issue, and that's the fact that in the 30 minutes of gameplay that we've actually seen, there was no real stealth in it at all. And granted, this is of course once again a trend within the Assassin's Creed franchise itself, but even by those standards, this is taken to a whole new extreme, with the vast majority of the gameplay footage in question showing the player leading a frontal assault on an enemy castle, which is promptly followed up by a boss battle at the end. Now it is of course entirely possible that this is still just a vertical slice of the gameplay, and we may still see the usual amount of stealth for an Assassin's Creed game anyways, but it is still something to be aware of. And it does also transition me to my final point, that being that perhaps the largest unspoken reason as to why this gameplay footage is so unpopular is the fact that it's the first gameplay footage we've even seen so far, despite the fact that Ubisoft claims to have released a quote gameplay trailer, which just so happened to have 0 actual gameplay within it. So when you add that to the context of this subpar leaked gameplay footage, it's quite easy to see why gamers would be so upset about the whole thing. Now I do need to mention that there are at least a few rumors stating that this footage appears to be from several months ago, which may or may not be true, so it is entirely possible that a lot of the bugs that were in the footage will be fixed before release or even fixed now. But given that this is Ubisoft we are talking about, that is by no means a guarantee. With all that said, there's not really much more for me to say here, so I will of course keep an eye on things and make sure nothing major happens. In any case, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.